YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video, and in today's video we're going to be going over the most underrated Redskins player on the current roster. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, in this case, my Washington Redskins, or should I say our Washington Redskins. And let's get straight into today's video. Oh yeah, one last thing. Now this video that I'm going to be doing here, it could be going many ways, but this is just my opinion. There are a lot of underrated Redskins players on this roster, but I only decided to pick one because I feel like this certain person that I'm going to be picking today is set for a breakout season. So like I said, your breakout player, or not should I say breakout player, but your most underrated Redskins player on the current roster may beg to differ from mine. So leave your comments down below. Just know it is my opinion. Like, comment, subscribe, help to Redskins, and without holding you guys any more longer, let's get straight into today's video. Now, I know you guys are like, who? I know you guys want to know who it is. So let's not hold up any longer. The most underrated player on this current roster, in my opinion, is none other than Kelvin Harmon. Kelvin Harmon, the wide receiver alongside Terry McLaurin, is probably the most underrated player on this Washington Redskins team, and I'm here as one guy telling you why. Now, with that out the way, let me give you a refresher of Kelvin Harmon. Kelvin Harmon is a Liberian professional American football wide receiver for the Washington Redskins of the National Football League. He played his college football at NC State, which he highly dominated while he was there. He was drafted by the Washington Redskins in the 6th round of the 2019 NFL Draft, and some say last year that he was the steal of the draft. Kelvin Harmon plays wide receiver, of course, and he has grown to be 6'2", and he is also 22 years old. Now let me get into some of Kelvin Harmon's stats from his rookie campaign. He had 30 receptions for 365 yards and averaged 12.2 yards a catch. Now he did have 0 touchdowns, but don't let that scare you. Let me tell you why he had 0 touchdowns. Now, especially from us Redskins fans, we all know how bad last season was. The team finished 3-13, and everything seemed to be going downhill. The whole 2019 draft class, not just Kelvin Harmon himself, but the whole 2019 draft class was put up and set for failure, starting with Dwayne Haskins. They were all set for failure, and none of them were set to reach their full potential. So that is scary, considering the fact that Terry McLaurin had such a great season, and he didn't even get to reach his full potential because of how dysfunctional this organization was last year. The team should be in for a rude awakening this year, coming alongside Kelvin Harmon. You know what I mean? So that is very scary. Now that we have a very good, respected head coach, and it seems like this organization is treading in the right direction, everyone from that draft class and even everyone on this roster should be in good hands. Now, the reason why I say Kelvin Harmon is going to break out this year is, one, he has great hands. He's physical. From the very little playing time that he did get last year, because he didn't get a lot of it, he made the best of it. He's big, he's strong, he has great hands. I know you guys remember that one catch from the Lions game where it literally took 3 to 4 guys to take him down. Kelvin Harmon is a man of boys amongst men. Dwayne Haskins calls him Baby Julio. Not only does he look like Julio Jones, but he actually plays like Julio Jones. That is crazy, and don't think I'm kidding when I say this. The dude literally looks like Julio Jones. It looks like he can be his little brother. It looks like he can play off as a Julio Jones. So we can do a prank or something on Julio Jones' mom, and I'm pretty sure she wouldn't tell the difference. I know I had to get that little joke in there, but when I tell you these guys look alike, they look alike. But Dwayne Haskins does call Kelvin Harmon Baby Julio, and he actually plays like him. He's not as fast. He's pretty fast for his size. Now, don't get that wrong. He has great ability to run upfield. He has great cutting ability. He can come out of his routes fast. He can turn his hips. He's very explosive to be very tall, such as a 6'3", 6'2". He has great hands, and like I said, he's strong. It literally took 3 to 4 guys to take him down last year. Now, the reason why I said that he's going to be the broke out player next year is because everyone is going to be throwing their attention to number 17. And number 17, of course, is Terry McLaurin. Now, a lot of teams didn't know who Terry McLaurin was last year because obviously he was a rookie. They didn't have no film on him. But now that they do, A lot of teams are going to be keying in on Terry McLaurin every single Sunday, Monday, Thursday, even Saturdays. Anytime we play, they're going to be keying in on Terry McLaurin. And who is that going to lead one-on-one coverage? Kelvin Harmon. Kelvin Harmon does a great job, and he did do a great job last year of getting open when he did have one-on-one coverage. He is going to break out this year. Teams are going to start keying in on Terry McLaurin and also Steven Sims, because Steven Sims, he came along towards the end of the season and he really sprouted. Probably I would say from week 6 to probably the end of the season is when teams started to notice Steven Sims. Now I can really say week 5 when he had that great game versus the Patriots, but I really say week 6 to the end of the season is where Steven Sims really sprouted along. Now I really think that Kelvin Harmon is going to be the breakout player of the year for the Washington Redskins, and teams are really going to start knowing who Kelvin Harmon is, because we have a nasty rotation now, but they're all young talent. So they're all young world talent. They still have a lot of potential and a lot of work to do. Even Terry McLaurin. Even though we know how great Terry McLaurin is, he's not perfect. So everyone on this team has a lot of room to grow. But I really do think Kelvin Harmon will be the breakout player of the year. Now, for the reason why I'm not saying that he's going to win the award, but I'm just saying as far as the Redskins aspect goes. Now, the reason why he had such, I don't want to say bad, but not a good rookie season, because he actually had a great rookie season for a 6th-round pick, but it could have been even better. Like I said, Bruce Allen fired, dysfunctional. Jay Gruden, the head coach, departed after week 5. Now, this whole team last year was filled with dysfunctional. This whole organization seems like it was going up in the fire. This team was in such a bad state to where teams came and took over our stadium. Redskins fans were too embarrassed to show up. Why would they spend their hard-earned money to come to a team that's going to be putting on a piss-poor performance week in and week out? Now, a lot of teams from other teams such as Philly, Dallas, Giants, of course, even the Jets took over FedEx Field. Now, everyone was being dysfunctional last year. We didn't know who the quarterback was going to be. Starting from week 1, Jay Gruden had Adrian Peterson as a healthy scratch, so we already knew that was a bad sign. So Kelvin Harmon wasn't able to put on his full potential, because he wasn't put in the best situation as to be such a good talent as other rookies from last year that was put in a good situation. Now this year will be different. He had 365 yards last year. With all of that going on, with 3 quarterbacks, you don't know which one you're going to play with week in and week out. Not knowing if he was going to make the roster to start the year off, to now being where he is at now. Now, I know a lot of people saying we drafted AGG. We had drafted AGG. I really think that everyone is sleeping on Kelvin Harmon. He's going to come in and shock people, man. I really do think he's going to come in and shock people, because a lot of people is not ready for what Kelvin Harmon has in store. Everyone just seems like they want to give the second wide receiver spot over to Antonio Gandy Golden, but forget that he has to come here and earn it. And Kelvin Harmon is going to have the one-up on him. Why? Because he is the sophomore coming into his 2nd season, so he knows how to adjust the NFL cornerbacks. Now, of course, Antonio Gandy Golden, he's not going to be going up against top-tier cornerbacks because we don't have that on his roster, but still, Kelvin Harmon has somewhat of that experience. I really do think Kelvin Harmon is the most slept-on player on this roster. Kelvin Harmon deserves more recognition. Also does Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin will get the recognition that he deserves, but I really do think Kelvin Harmon is going to feast this year because of how teams are going to be keying in on such of a Terry McLaurin double team him probably every game, if not every game, probably majority of the games, and that's going to leave Kelvin Harmon one-on-one coverage. And not only does he have to be a deep ball catcher, he's a big receiver, so he can be a possession catcher, a great red zone target when you need to just throw it up. He can be a very good 3rd down conversion target. Also, Terry McLaurin, that is, anybody on this wide receiving core can be such a 3rd down target, but I really do think Kelvin Harmon is probably the best one alongside Terry McLaurin. Kelvin Harmon really deserves the recognition, and I really think he's going to wake up the NFL this year. So without further ado, it's me, boy One Gotti. Like, comment, subscribe, hell to the Redskins, turn on post notifications so you get notified when I upload a video about the NFL, or in this case, our Washington Redskins. Now, like I said, once again, Kelvin Harmon is my breakout player of the year. I really think he's the most underrated NFL player on this team, or should I say on the Washington Redskins as a whole. Who do you think is the most underrated Redskins player on this current roster? I gave you my opinion. Now the floor is yours. Like, comment, subscribe, help to the Redskins, turn on post notifications. It's been boy Juan Gotti. We almost at 600, y'all. Let's keep growing. Once again, the schedule will be released tonight, or whenever you're watching this, it was released today of the recording. Like, comment, subscribe, help to the Redskins, turn on post notifications. I'm out. Peace.